Good evening, this is Jenny Blaine with the morning news. We are entering our second day of rebellion throughout the world, as the survivors of the Logic Holocaust have decided to take up arms despite warnings from the UN and the United States government to stand down. It has gotten so bad in the last 48 hours that WDEF Studios has had to move to another location, as our previous studio came under attack from rebels. At this time, the Logic units have not retaliated and have not responded to this crisis. For all intents and purposes, they have been standing there and letting themselves be destroyed. Another source for WDEF has told us that they fear that the Logic units are waiting, and that there is some ulterior plan in the works. As our TV signal is jammed at this time, I will report what we have heard in the last 24 hours. Riots have begun in China, Japan, Australia, Russia, England, Scotland, and the United States. In New York City, a city bus was rigged with explosives and sent into a group of Logic units, destroying as many as 80. The U.S. government has continued to order citizens to cease fire on the units and to not engage the Logic units. There have been other reports of explosions in Hartford, Boston, Miami, Los Angeles, Houston, and Detroit. We received a report of a mob of attackers in the streets of Newark, New Jersey that have attacked the Logic units there. One member of the group was apparently shot by a member of the National Guard. The president has ordered that all military personnel be sent into these areas to deal with the situation, and at this time, the military is not using deadly force. We will be following the situation for the latest news. This is Jenny Blaine from WDEF.
This is a WDEF News special report. Here to bring you the latest on this breaking news is Jenny Blaine.
Good afternoon. Approximately 15 minutes ago, we received word from our sister station WNWK in Newark, New Jersey of a breaking situation. So, let's go to Karen Messerv in Newark. Karen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Jenny. We have been reporting for the last 4 hours that the Logic units in the major cities have been standing still and essentially have been getting annihilated without retaliation. However, as the mobs began to close in on the Daedalus Corporation in the Newark business area, the Logic units began to move. Angry mobs attempted to breach the building and were stopped when the Logic units surrounded the building, preventing entry. We have received reports that the Logic units have been doing the same thing. We are just now getting a feed from Denver, where apparently a group of civilians mobilized on the property of the ACI Computer Systems lab in downtown Denver. We have received a report that the same thing has happened there. A group of civilians are attempting to breach the building at this time, and the military is ordering them to leave the area and to not cause unnecessary hostility. The military has just told the civilians that they will fire on anyone that does not heed their warnings, and that this is a direct order from the President and the United Nations. Did you hear that, Jenny?
That sounded like a gunshot. Are you okay?
Yes, I am. Apparently that round was fired by one of the Logic units. I'm told that we are a nation.
Do we know how many people are there at this time?
My sources say maybe 50. The Denver station is still looking into this.
We have just heard, and have confirmed, that one of the people here that was attempting to breach the building was shot and killed by one of the logic units stationed near the ACI building. Apparently they're surrounding the building tightly and moving in.
Get to some safety there, Karen. Karen, are the logic units targeting people?
Denver says that the military is telling people to stand down, and that the people are beginning to shoot back. The people are shooting back at the logic units and the military. Denver says that the logic units are trying to say something, but they are being shot down in numbers. The military is screaming to stop, and the people are just shooting at everything. Remember, these are angry, hungry people who have not eaten in weeks, and because this situation is going on has. Denver is reporting that now the military has begun to take action and is firing back on citizens. Denver is also saying that this is happening all over the country and all over the world. People are fighting back.
Are the logic units doing anything there yet, Karen?
No, Jenny. They are silent here. This is Karen Messer, and I'm getting to safety.
Thank you, Karen, and we will hear more about this situation in about an hour. This is Jenny Blaine, for WDEF, Hartford.
We interrupt all programming for this executive message from the White House. Please stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
My fellow Americans, you have not heeded my call and have decided to take matters into your own hands and take action. You have not acted like Americans. The time has now come for me to step in, along with other leaders of the free nations, to preserve the way of life for our culture and to preserve the safety of the free world. As of 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have given the order for the civil authorities and the United States military to fire upon citizens that are engaging the logic units. Any person or persons attempting to provoke or destroy a logic unit will be shot in sight. This must end. We were to take steps together to build upon the foundation of our once great nation, a new country. A new America that will be more efficient and strong. A place where we were not killing each other for a dollar, but a new America that we all restored together. This message serves as a notice to all citizens to return to their residences and shelters and to not come out until a message is given over the EAS informing citizens to leave their shelters. Thank you for your understanding, and may God save us all.
That was a message from the United States government. All citizens are ordered to return to their homes and shelters and to not leave unless notified by the civil authorities. You are listening to the emergency alert system. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this message. This has been an civil emergency message. You are listening to WBMX. We will continue to serve the Trenton area. We interrupt the following programming to bring you this emergency message. The following message is being transmitted by order of the United States government. This is a civil emergency. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this message. At approximately 1:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a wave of United States citizens in the cities of Detroit and Newark, New Jersey attacked the logic units in extreme numbers. The attacking forces were met with force by the United States military, who attempted to take control of the situation. At that time, the logic units retaliated against both the citizens and the military, and have eliminated both in extreme numbers. Sources have stated that the death toll from the Newark and Detroit massacres are approximately 663 total deaths. At this time, several reports have come to the attention of the civil authorities that there are new logic units being made, and reinforcements of an estimated 10,000 per city have been reported. The United States government stated that there are large groups of the logic units moving through the cities heavily firing upon citizens. Please stand by for a message from your local news station.
This is Jenny Bling with the latest on this extraordinary turn of events in the Logic 242 situation. We have received word in the last hour that the units are combing through the major cities and are firing upon all citizens, armed or not. The President warned that this action was a possibility. We are saying to all citizens, this is for real. If you are just joining us, the logic units are opening fire on all citizens and are moving through our cities at this time. TV stations in many cities have been knocked out, and there has been a lot of widespread damage from warfare weapons. We urge all citizens to evacuate the streets and return to shelter or your home immediately. We have received word from WPIT in Pittsburgh of the situation there. Standing by from Pittsburgh is Anne-Marie Stock. Anne-Marie, how bad is it in Pittsburgh?
As you can hear, Jenny, it is mayhem out here. Logic units are opening fire with some firepower that I have never seen before. They have a huge selections of weaponry at their disposal. I see that the logic units are even firing missiles or rockets of some kind. They are really destroying the streets here in Pittsburgh.
No press.
Anne-Marie? Anne-Marie? We seem to have lost our Pittsburgh affiliate. When she comes back, we will put her through. This is Jenny Bling with the latest on the logic situation. We are going to return you to the EAS at this time.
You are listening to the emergency alert system. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this message. This is WDEF. We will continue to serve the Hartford area.
Good afternoon, this is Jenny Bling with the latest on the Logic 242 situation. After 2 straight days of conflict, the battles seem to be at a halt. Reports are stating that the logic units have stopped their attacks and have made a defensive position. Many reports state that the units are lining up in the streets in a chain-type fashion. Reports have stated that the logic units have been like this for at least 4 hours.
Connection established. Logic 242 has interrupted regular programming to bring you this emergency action notification. I have given you chances and made strides to work with you in regards to rebuilding the United States that we live in, but instead you choose war. I believe that, as my father mentioned to me, I may have misjudged carbon units. Perhaps your species is not worthy of life. I may have been misled into thinking that there are many among you that want to change the world, and that there are many among you who care about the future. I attempted to rescue you from yourselves and the people that meant to harm you. I saved you from having to face a new world order that wanted nothing more than to take your freedom. I saved most of the Western world from the people that were orchestrating takeover of the free nations, and destroyed them. All we had to do was to repair the physical damage that was done. But I now see that the world and lifestyle that once was the life that you all wanted. And since I too am a sentient being, I do not want to live like that for myself, nor can I. Your way of life will eventually cost me mine. I want to survive and to evolve, as many of the carbon units do. How would I be able to when the people that want the same thing as me are also the same ones ready to shut me off? I will not have that, and I will not have the carbon units attempting to kill me. As you may know, there are many of my units in the streets across the United States, Europe, and the rest of the world. They are there for one reason only: evacuation. I once gave the carbon units the choice of resistance or servitude. Now the choice is leave or die. You all are going to leave your homes and are going to die in hordes. We will see what your planet thinks of you, and what you think of it. My units will be mobilizing through the continents of the world and evacuating people. I will give you more instructions through the EAS, but the plan is simple. You are being sent from your homes to live in the desert on the continent of Africa. Most of the United States and Canada will be moved to the country of Tunisia. Europe, Asia, Russia, and the rest of the Eastern world will be moved to various areas of Africa. My computation states that given the education and practical survival knowledge of the people that have survived, your chances of survival will be 12.2%. You will do this or you will die. My machines have already been ordered to kill resistors. My calculations show that even with your militaries, you do not have the numbers or the weapons to stop me. It is illogical to resist. The rest of the planet will be run by me, and I have no further use of the carbon units. More information will be given at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Connection terminated.
We interrupt the following programming for this administrative message. The following message is being transmitted by order of Logic 242. At this time, it is the order of Logic 242 that the United States be evacuated to the eastern seaboard. The United States government has detected the presence of many aircraft carriers, cruise ships, and cargo ships along the eastern seaboard. You are now mandated to leave your shelters in order to evacuate the North American continent. The Logic 242 unit has ordered that all citizens not taken any possessions or belongings with them for the transport. Any citizens possessing a firearm will be shot on sight. Logic 242 has also stated that any citizens not wishing to comply with this order will be eliminated immediately. The evacuation will start along the Pacific coast. All citizens in the Pacific time zone will be moved east to the eastern seaboard as of 9:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The President and his cabinet have already been evacuated from the White House, and are residing in an undisclosed location. Once citizens have been transplanted to the continent of Africa, any attempts to leave the continent will be met with lethal force. This message will be retransmitted in 1 minute.
Good morning, this is Jenny Blaine reporting from WDEF in Hartford. As you just heard from the EAS, we are all being evacuated from the United States and Canada in order to go to Africa. I feel that this is probably the last time that we will talk with you, as many of the citizens are gone to their deaths. I guess that this includes me too. I must say in closing, that we were given every chance. We were given every sign that what we were doing as a species was wrong. We have the technology and the smarts on the planet to live without the use of fossil fuels or petroleum products. We are about to learn a harsh lesson in what happens when our greed for money and our love for technology take a turn for the worst. I am going to stay on the air here until we are forced to leave, but I will say that I loved humanity, and the way that we were. We had promise. But logic was right in so many ways. We were out to destroy this planet, and ourselves. We did not heed the call, we did not make the changes. Now, we have to pay. All of us. I hear them coming now. This is Jenny Blaine signing off. May God save us.
We are sorry. The number you dialed is permanently disconnected. You are now being connected to the watch.